Hey, Mike, what do Kelly Slater and PT have in common?
I don't know. They're both world champs?
Nope, they both own Endless Summer box set.
Oh my God, rad. You guys, you can get it too. The link's in the show notes.
Foot out choke food. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out.
Hey everybody, welcome to the QuiverCast, where we chat with surfers from all around the world, from all walks of life, and we get their story. Find us at www.thequivercast.com. I am Mike, your host. Let's get into the show. Hello, everyone. This is Mike here with the QuiverCast, and we have a super duper special guest that I'm personally super excited about. We got Mr. X, or Glen Winton, here. How you doing, Glen?
Yeah, terrific. Thanks.
Hey, actually, the first thing, I wasn't going to use the Mr. X, but do you like Mr. X?
Oh, I used to.
You used to like it. All right.
Yeah, it's all right. Something different.
It was something different. How'd you get that name?
I was winning a lot of competitions in New South Wales and around Australia, and not getting much publicity because I didn't have a major sponsor. So that's okay. I got through it and won enough money to go around the world anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was sweet.
So that's how the name came in?
Yeah, just not enough publicity for how much I was winning contests.
All right. So did you come up with that name or someone else?
Oh, just someone from the tour.
Oh, okay. Got it. Understood.
Sean Thompson might say that, but someone else too.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. So let's start off in your early. How did you get into surfing?
Oh, really, really young.
Yeah.
In 1966,
Wow.
we moved to Mona Vale, which is next to Narrabeen, and we found the beach. So straight away, the three brothers and I were into surfing. Our first surfboard that we bought was £10.
Wow.
So way back then, and I got the nose piece.
Okay.
My brothers used to make surfboards like when they were 8 and 9. And they said, with the front we can make it a spoon like George Greenough. But I decided not to have a kneeboard and just had a belly board in 1966.
Wow. So you started off belly boarding, and then how did that progress? You fell in love with the ocean, or?
It was interesting in Australia. There's not abundance of surfboards for the kids. And people, like everywhere, they were riding foamies for a long time. So a foam board, like a styrofoam board.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so how did you progress to starting to stand up? And I mean, why were you surfing just because it was fun, or because your brothers did it, or why?
I don't know. I was just in love with the ocean.
Okay.
And always have been, always will be. And it was just the done thing. We had lots of toys and hills and skateboarding, but surfing was awesome. And then when I was 12, I thought maybe it's a good way to get chicks.
That's a good idea.
So it seemed to work okay. But,
it worked.
But, it sort of worked. And, it just progressed on to there. And because I had two parents that were athletes, my mum was Victorian championship for push bike riding, and my dad was West Australian champion.
Wow.
So sports was it, and I had my brothers showing me what to do. So we were into it.
Cool. So your brothers surfed well too, right? Were they both older than you?
Yeah, three brothers older, and they were shredders. So for me, I just practiced a lot. By the time I was 14, I'd already been surfing for 8 years.
Wow. Yeah. And you did pretty good in amateur ranks too, right?
Yeah, I was in any contest that moved. I loved them, eating them up, chill me out.
Did your parents push you to compete, or was that your choice?
I was single mum with 5 kids,
mm-hmm.
so we just did what we could.
Okay.
So yeah, own race, yeah.
Okay. And then, how was the region you grew up in surfing?
Well, I was lucky to move to an area with really hot surfers. There was one, Graham Woods, that was a bit ahead of his time, and maybe because of where I grew up, there was a lot of reef breaks and beach breaks, and it made for pretty good surfers. So the group I was with was already hot surfers for their time. When I progressed and started winning there around my local area, I thought, oh, there's a chance for me here.
Okay.
But I was always focused to be a professional. I think at the time there was no such thing as a professional. But when you see Mark Richards with his silver suit,
yeah,
way back then you think, well, there's got to be money in this one day.
Yeah.
I think I was 14, 1974. I thought, oh, there's going to be money in this sport when it grows up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so along come IPS and ASP and now it's WSL.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So, okay, so as a kid, how old do you think you were when you first told yourself, I'm going to turn pro? I'm going to be a professional?
It was. I knew that. I was probably looking at MR's silver suit that really clicked and said, there's money in this. There'll be a job later. Just focus on it.
How old?
So that's 1974.
1974. Okay.
14.
Yeah, 14. Okay. IPS then, or was it the ASP when you got on tour?
Oh, IPS still.
Oh, it was. Okay. So you're competing against guys like Elmar and Sean Thompson and some of those other guys.
Yep.
Were they, what was your thoughts on their surfing versus your surfing?
Oh, I think they were the first bunch of true professionals, and they had their spots. So I had to come in and sort of take their spot.
Yeah.
Which was not easy to do back then.
Right.
Because it was just new. They were, you got the generation of old guys with their loggers, and then the new rippers, through the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was young for that group.
What were you riding when you went on the early tour days?
I don't know, 5'10".
5'10". Wow, small.
Yeah, I think everybody was on 5'10". There's nothing over 6 foot.
Really? Were they like twin fins back then? They weren't. Were they early thrusters?
What
were you like? Single fin. Okay, that's what I thought. Maybe.
Yeah, we're talking way back 79 and stuff like that.
And you at 79, you're like 19, right? I guess it'd be 19.
Yeah.
Were you competing as a pro back then? What age did you turn pro?
I went to Hawaii in 78 for the. It was going to be like a world title, but it ended up being Hawaii versus Australia Friendship Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, at 18, I was traveling to Hawaii already.
Okay. What was your first thoughts on Hawaii, the culture and the waves?
I feel at home in Hawaii.
Okay.
Just love the place. It was, first couple of years, it was a bit much, but I got used to it and just love the place. I used to stay there for 3 months a year.
What do you mean? You said it was a bit much at first. By how? How?
Oh, probably the reputation and everybody's reputation, and you're just a young guy there.
Yeah.
8-year-old, just green as. So it's fun.
Intimidated by these guys, you think? Is that the right word?
No, intimidated by the waves.
Oh, waves. Okay.
Yeah. Sunset and Pipeline, just not not used to it. But, you know, you get beaten up like that for a while, you get used to it.
So what was your first big day at a pipe? Do you remember that day?
I don't know. The first year I went, I got smashed. And also a couple of years later, I got smashed again and coughed up blood and
Wow.
just kept on having a go at it. And then it didn't injure me for a fair few years, and then it got me good when the Billabong was at pipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I don't know. I'm guessing 89.
Okay. I'm guessing 89. What happened?
Oh, just a rotator cuff injury that plagued me for a few years.
Wow. Due to
30
pipeline.
years. 30 years. Yeah, you get that at pipe.
I can't, in my head, there's a picture of you and like gnarly big pipe. Like, I wish I could find it. I probably can find it. I will look for it, but I wish I had it. But in my head, like, it's like, I mean, it was probably a photo op. I don't even think you were going to make this wave. It was massive and you're in the barrel, like so deep. You may have made it. I don't know because there's no video of it.
Nah, I got flogged.
Were you getting pushed at pipe or were you pushing yourself?
Oh, pushed myself.
Okay.
I was all over it for 3 months of the year.
All right.
When I was growing up, there was Lopez and Rory and Sam.
Not Sam Hawk, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He was seemed like the craziest. So
Okay.
I just follow his lead.
Okay.
Also, I'd like to say Mike Purpose on the cutbacks. I was a big fan of Mike's cutbacks.
Wow.
But my style probably come from, like, you know, the Jerry and that at first, and then had to change it to like a Bertleman style
Yeah.
because I started copying what they were doing. And
Interesting.
that was fun as. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I never thought about you surfing like Larry Bertleman, but you kind of do actually. Now that I'm picturing it.
Yeah, man. I tried.
So let's talk about, since you brought up style, you still probably do have a very unique style. And there's not many people that I've seen, at least in the professional ranks, surf like you. And even I've watched some of your videos that you've reposted on Instagram that are I love them. I mean, I totally love them. I like your I think your style is, how do you even describe it? Your cutbacks are huge. You can go so far out on the flats and you come bring it back. How would you describe your style? You as Glenn, as your style?
Oh, probably, like I said, a mixture of,
Yeah.
you know,
The Larry.
Larry, yeah.
The Larry.
Yeah,
Larry
you know,
Bertleman.
yeah, this through the years it's changed.
Okay.
But always just trying to be as rad as I can, and I didn't care about my body. You know, I just wanted to get some points, get some money, and keep doing it.
Okay, so you get on tour. The first couple of years have to be a struggle, right? How are you surviving?
I'd come back and win a contest at home and then go away with the money again.
Okay, because you weren't.
It was that tight.
So, would you ever getting close to being stuck somewhere overseas
yeah,
or something?
Sometimes you got to pass the heat to pay your hotel bill.
Wow, that's rough.
That's rough.
That's
Then
rough.
You make the heat and you're like, yeah.
Did that take away from some of the fun? That added stress?
Yeah, it would have. Absolutely. But I had confidence in my surfing that I just thought I could beat anybody.
Okay.
That's simple.
All
but
right.
a bit of faith, and because at home in Australia I could get judged quite goodly, but you go overseas in the 70s and 80s, and they might be a bit harsh. So you find you're ripping, but you're still coming back with nothing. It was in those days. It's a little bit better now.
You think so?
Oh, they have to be. Everyone's watching.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so
before no one was watching, so
that's
they could
true.
do whatever they want. Yeah,
Let's talk.
But they were fun too.
Let's talk about that. Do you think the judging was skewed towards one person over another?
In those days, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you had the name,
bad, hey, it's just like somebody goes to Newcastle from Peru, and they're against the guy that may be the poster boy for the contest. It might be raining in the afternoon. Boom, boom. The Peruvians back to Peru, and that guy advanced a heat that he shouldn't have got through. It's a bit of a bummer, really. But that happened in surfing, and sometimes I was a victim, and that's as enough about it as I want to say, because, I appreciated the judges being there.
Okay.
They probably had better things to do, so I can complain, but not for too long.
Well,
You've got to think positive, yeah. That's
well,
what surfing taught me. You've got to think positive.
Okay. So, but I do have to ask you one more question.
Shoot.
It has to do with the same thing you said you don't want to say too much more about, so you can say no, don't answer it. But I'm going to ask you anyhow. Yeah. It benefited you probably later on as your name was more well known. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I hope so. I'd like to think I got pushed for a heat, but I can't remember any.
Okay. So you were fighting the whole time?
I was just into it, I did 10 years on tour, just going round and round and round, and I'm probably a lot of that time in the top 10.
Yes.
So complain, I won't.
Okay.
Everyone did their job as good as they could, and I better be happy with that.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about surfboards?
We can talk about surfboards. You want to talk about surfboards right now?
Hell yeah, I love surfboards.
Okay.
I think there's a strange love with a board and a person.
Okay. What do you want to talk about boards?
I don't know. I shape maybe one a week, and I paint it because I'm an artist.
Okay. I
charge about $300 to paint them.
Wow, that's pretty reasonable.
So you reckon?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'll send you a photo of one.
Okay. Yeah, please do.
Yeah. No, I love it. And just to see surfboards, somebody else's board, you pick it up, you look at it, you can almost feel how it'd go. I have hundreds of surfboards and different boards. I've got a boogie board with fins in it that goes incredible. I got a twin. I make 20s with steps. I'm a bit excited about 7'2" twin fins.
Oh yeah,
they're huge in Australia. I suppose California too. Are they huge? The 7'20"s?
I actually have one that works pretty good, like a stretched out fish kind of thing.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, they're awesome.
They are awesome.
Yeah, and even the softboards, they're not good yet, but they will be.
When they change the rails, you think? What do they got to do to the softboards to make them better?
I don't know. That flex that's in them sometimes can help. There's some boards don't have that flex, and as soon as you figure out a decent rail and the right flex, woohoo!
Okay. Are you anti softboard, or since you're a shaper, so you're only shaping one board a week, right?
Yeah. What's
your specialty in shaping? The 7'2", the 7 foot?
Oh, I'd say it'd have to be anything.
Anything, okay.
Anything, 9 to well, maybe not the grobby boards, not the normal boards.
Okay.
It's probably the only thing I don't do is normal boards. But I have a twin fin with a step.
Okay. I'm
liking that. And what just came to mind is the fact that in Australia, wide boards are 20, maybe up 21. But in Brazil, when somebody said made a wide board, they didn't really have one. So their wide boards are 23.
Yeah, that's wide.
Yeah, so it's funny how that happened. Maybe in the 80s someone said make it wide and they went straight to 23.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where in Australia we only went to 20.
Which is not very wide, actually. to me.
No. Yeah, 21 and a half, 22. But for a short board, that's wide.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. How
Yeah.
wide's your board? What are you riding?
I like wide now.
Oh, yes.
22 plus.
Okay.
And a boat. Yeah, about 10 kilos overweight. I broke my neck and back about 5 years ago.
Ooh.
So I slowed down a bit, and I'm revving back up now after a break for a while.
Okay.
I only stopped surfing for a year, but now I'm a bit slower and I don't take the big ones.
Mm.
Oh, well, I will, but I'll be in distress.
First off, when you were a kid, was there anybody that the age you are today surfing when you were a kid? There wasn't, probably, I'm guessing.
When I was a kid, so long ago, 56 years ago, I started surfing.
No, yeah, but when you were a grom, when you were a kid surfing, there was no older gentleman out there on the water, was there? Surfing with you, alongside you?
Yeah, there was a few old people.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, but it was interesting that in 66, I went surfing at Monavale and, there was old people everywhere surfing. Because I was in Sydney and then I moved up the coast a bit when I was 11.
Yeah.
So I started in Sydney. That was good. Yeah.
Okay, so what else do you want to tell us about your boards? And I will post it on the show notes, everybody, with a contact to get Glen Winton. I've got quite a few Australians listening. So, where are you at right now out of, Glen? Where are you living?
Okay, Mike, at the moment I'm at Cabarita Beach, which was voted Australia's prettiest beach last year. And just hanging out, making boards, surfing.
That's rad.
Once a day. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 61 now.
Uh-huh.
And surf every day. Getting healthier, getting stronger. Just loving life still.
Perfect.
Yeah, cool.
Let's talk about shaping a little bit. How did you get into shaping, and when did you start shaping?
Gosh, 1972, I did my first one.
Okay.
That went okay. It's interesting when you make a board for yourself, the first one goes really good. It's the ones after that you got to worry about. If no one's, you can shape your own board. My friend, he was surfing for 50 years. He made himself a board the other day because he had a friend that could help him, and he loves the board. So if you get the inclination, get a blank, shape it, or even a pre-shaped blank. Smooth it out. At least you can say you shaped it.
There you go. What were you riding on tour? Were you riding your own boards, or were you riding?
A couple of my own boards.
Really?
If I was sponsored, I could get a board off anybody any day. So I went around the world getting the best shapers, whether it be Rusty or Almeric, Rawson, just whoever's hot in that country. I'd go there, get a couple of boards because, like I say, I love boards. I love getting a new one. Love riding them. I love drooling over them.
Yeah.
It's all just part of being a surfer, I guess.
Do you hold on? Do you have some of those old boards from back in the 80s and 70s still, or are they all gone?
Oh, I've got about 100 boards under that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Just getting older. I don't think they'll be worth anything one day, but maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, well, they're worth something to you. I mean, right? At the end of the day.
A couple of memories.
Good memories, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good memories.
Now, when you were dealing with, let's say, Rusty, or you were in, wherever you were in Hawaii, getting whoever getting boards from, were you actually going in the shaping bays with them as the boards being shaped, or were you just picking them kind of off the rack?
Mostly I'd go see them. Yeah. In the 80s, before beans, you'd go see the shaper and talk to him. Now you just pick a model off the rack, don't you?
I don't, but yeah. I mean, most people probably do.
Yeah, well, you can get a good board off the racks.
You can.
Machines shape pretty good, I think. They're great.
Yeah. If it's a proven design, it seems to work great, actually. And you can now the machine, they just a couple finger movements and the things. It's amazing. And but I don't know if there's a machine out there that can actually finish the board, do the rails and all that. I think that has to be done by humans. I think.
No, they've got one.
Not many though, right?
No. It's, it'll happen one day.
Oh, of course. It's right there. It'll happen any day, probably.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy shaping? Do you like getting in the bay and getting dirty?
No.
You don't like it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a chore, but once it's finished, I like it.
So you like the end result?
Yeah, that's it. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, no, honest. That's what we're here about. We're here at the QuiverCast. We're honest. I love it. So when you're getting into shape a board, are these mostly local surfers? Are they from all around Australia? Who are you shaping for mostly?
Oh, I don't have any pros, unfortunately, but that'll change one day.
Of course.
Yeah, and just friends.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a big business. I don't really worry about it too much.
Are you doing it more because you love the end result, or I mean, you wouldn't do it if you didn't like it, right?
No, I'm just waiting for the big contract. Here, I'll make 100 of them. Here's the money. I go, woohoo!
Aren't we all?
Yeah. I'm just
yeah.
So if you want to make lots of boards, put my sticker on it. Here I am.
There you go.
I'm here waiting.
At what point, when you were on tour, did you decide, or did you see that the tour life was over? And what was your thoughts on that?
Well, I was a bit shocked because I got out. I thought I was a bit older, but I was only 32. If I refocused. But my problem is if you start at 6 and compete at 12, by 32, there's 20 years of hardcore competing, and it was just getting a bit of a drag. I could have had a year off or something, but no, I'd almost had enough of it by then.
Yeah. Just like burned out?
A little bit burned out. Yeah.
Okay.
12 years on tour, going round and around and around. And it wasn't just the challenge tour, it was the big tour.
Yes.
And in those days, there was sometimes minimum 22, 26 contests a year.
That's rough.
It is rough when you've got to fit Jeffreys Bay in the middle, just for a surf.
Yeah.
We go there with no contest.
Wow.
Everybody just shoot down there and say, yeah, we surf Jeffreys.
Okay.
That was fun. But, we had to fit in some sightseeing in between those 26 guys.
Well, that's good.
It was crazy.
Now, were you guys like having parties, or was it like you're like on a bus doing sightseeing?
Well, it depends where you wanted to finish.
Okay.
The tour was so much money in it. You'd split a car with a couple of other surfers in a room. You wouldn't just go get your own room. So it was more. It was nice hanging out with everybody. But I wasn't a partier because I go a bit nutsoid on alcohol. So.
You get crazy?
I don't drink. Yeah.
Okay. So was drinking no fun, or was it was Mr. X?
No, I just get a lot braver and stupider. But it's good that I don't. Some people shouldn't drink, and I'm just one of them.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah, so I'll just stay mellow so I can worry less.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I like mellow. I like peace. I read a lot of spiritual books, meditated for a long time, and I just think it's the one thing I want to talk about is to know God personally. Not your churchy one, but just inside you one. It's a big, long search for 60 years already.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as I enjoy it and don't take it too seriously, it's something to do in my spare time. I look here, I look there. I haven't found it yet.
You haven't found God yet?
Oh, yeah, I have. Now,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it's unreal.
What do you do, like, spiritually? You said you meditate? What does that consist of?
At the moment, I'm just meditating to guided meditations to YouTube and that. And I've been through all the Indian gurus and American ones, and it's fascinating. For me,
Is it fascinating?
It's like surfboards. It's a burning passion, and so is that. But anyway, back to surfing.
Okay. That was interesting, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave that out because
it's important.
Yeah, it's important to me.
Okay.
Say it and get all of me. So where am I at now after all that? Not much. 62, not doing much. Life's pretty damn good. People say it's whinging and suffering, but I reckon it's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
Good.
A little more about surfing, and then anything else you want to talk about. But
I don't know. I used to pipeline. I know what people. I used to worship pipeline, but now I reckon there's better waves. As in, sometimes to have fun, you need a bit of a roll in, and at pipe, you don't have a roll in normally. It's all terrifying. And there's a backwash that can screw you up. Let's not forget that.
The pipeline's just an art.
Yeah, you're paddling for it, and it'll just sort of try and eat you. The wave will just grow teeth and go, you're mine. But I suppose that's why we love it. You don't know whether you're going to make it or not every time.
What are your thoughts on Sunset?
Oh, I did well out there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did good.
My record is incredible out there for a goofy footer.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the waves I like, big and fat and rough.
Chunky?
Yeah, I was all over it. Let me at it. Let me at it.
Do you think the tour today, would you prefer the tour that you were a part of, or do you wish it was more like today back then? Does that make sense?
I prefer today. Like back then,
okay.
Just random people calling the shots. It was pretty rough and ready, and left some people devastated when they should have won. But that's what I think of the old tour, and it's still happening these days. But less.
Okay. Do you watch pro surfing today?
Yeah. Yeah, still enjoy it. I can understand its underbelly, but, just officials trying to make money off it. So many. And they get paid good. And there's only 7 contests a year. Oh, no, there's a lot of contests. You're right. There's different tiers, isn't there?
There has 3 tiers now.
Yeah, 3 tiers and counting.
I kind of like the middle tier. I'm glad they put that in there. Personally, I think it's more fun to watch.
Challenge. Yeah.
The Challenger?
Yeah. But WSL got to be careful. Someone like Live Golf will come along, and they'll have to start giving the surfers something more.
Do you think the surfers deserve more?
Absolutely. I don't think WSL is run for the surfers.
It's not. I don't think so either.
So who's it run for?
The owner.
I guess.
But I don't think they're making money either.
Hey? No. I say, but I mean, I watch pro surf, and it's still terrific. Still the best sport, but just when you know underneath.
That's agreed upon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still the best sport, but I mean, there's some fixes, I think. But who am I?
All come. We're like a human mind. We're still just babies, and we'll grow into something even bigger. This sport, and what's going to happen when you can have a wave pool? What happens when every world leader's got their son's got a wave pool?
I wish I had one.
Oh, they're going to be everywhere, and that's when the sport will be like something else. It'll be, it'd be good.
It would be. I agree it would be good, but how is that guy in the middle of Australia in the outback that has a wave pool that's really a good surfer? When he shows up at, Cura or something, is he getting able to?
He doesn't have to show up at Cura. He shows up in Munich. There's so many wave pools there. There's going to be World Wave Pool Championship. Well, there's a European one now. Why wouldn't there be a world one in a couple of years?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's where he goes. He doesn't have to go to something.
So two separate tours?
Hope so.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah. Have you surfed a wave pool?
Oh, a couple. Yeah.
Oh, what's your thoughts?
Oh, terrific. I guess my main thought is let's squeeze a wave out without having to spend $50 in electricity. If you can make a standing wave for almost free, you can ride it 24/7 every second of that. A moving wave, you got to pay electricity for it. And so that's the cost versus the wave thing. Once that thing's conquered, there should be wave pools everywhere.
So it's energy cost. That's the holding back.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, you say wave pool, I go to energy cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I come from.
No, I can see that. I can totally see that.
And I want to say I vote for standing waves because I do think it's still surfing and it's still fun. It's really easy to call them shit, but that's the wrong word. They're actually good, but just not as good.
Standing wave means like the I can't think of that.
Oh,
the flow rider.
Flow rider. In Europe,
that thing's hard. Yeah.
In Europe, they're leagues years ahead of that. With the.
But you're surfing finless.
Sorry, I forgot the wave, but they're all over Europe. They're all over.
Yes.
We're just behind.
But I don't know. I've been on several of them, and I don't know. It doesn't feel like surfing to me personally.
Yeah.
It's different. The guys that do it though, that are good, are phenomenal at it. They're amazing.
Yeah. You need a wave with deep water. A standing
deeper water,
and you have fins. It's not a flow rider's riding a skimboard.
Yes,
but there's plenty of variations. I'm looking at the future. And what they do in the future, not so much what they can do now.
You think something like that's going to come up in our lifetime?
Hell yeah, pretty soon.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, standing waves everywhere. As soon as I can figure out that energy cost. I could go into the beach. A lot of points around here are just too crowded to have fun.
Uh-huh.
So, if you can have fun in a pool, great.
No, I mean, I'm all for the wave pool. I really am, actually.
Yeah.
When you surf, do people recognize you? Do they know who you are?
It depends. I don't.
Okay.
I don't try and show myself.
Okay.
I'm not sponsored.
Okay.
All right, I was. That's all that matters.
Yeah. No. Okay. Like, once again, going back to the beginning of the conversation, I'm super stoked to interview because your style is completely unique, but I love your style. And I watch it now, and I even love it more today than I did back then.
Thanks.
When I was a kid watching you.
Yeah, I had a bit of influence. I had a lot of posters on walls in the 80s. No, I knew how to take a good photograph. I wore the right colours and got a lot of photos in the magazines.
You did. And, I mean, I had your picture on my wall for sure. But, okay, I can't not end this interview without asking you. Do you still wear webs?
I have a pair from the old days.
Yes.
I think it had something to do with my rotor cuff injury at Pipeline that year.
Oh, really? Interesting.
So if anyone's going to use gloves, be careful of the part between your thumb and your forefinger. If you cut that bit out, it lines up and it won't hurt your shoulder. But if you use that scoop part between your thumb, it'll twist your shoulder.
So you think that's what caused it, like over time? And
I think gloves might make a comeback.
I might wear it
next week.
So you think if it was a flaw in the design?
Oh yeah,
possibly
that needed to be tested.
You were the test pilot for sure.
Yeah. Now I know. Don't make it too big.
Oh,
they were good at the time.
I had a pair.
They were wonderful.
I liked them. But a lot of your pictures you show on the web. What was your first thoughts on the web when you saw those and you said, "Yeah, sign me up"?
Oh no, I saw them in early '80s. I just saw them on beauty. That'll work. I'll use that to try and win. I'd say I used to use cord, 2mm cord for leg ropes and stuff like that. Anything to try and win.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just focused on winning.
Now, early in the conversation, I want to talk about this for a second too. Yeah. Is who are the guys you were hanging out with? The guys you were sharing the room with, sharing the car with?
Oh, Bryce Ellis and Jim Hogan come to mind. But
okay.
It depended where I was. You know, I go to Florida, you hang out with all those guys. Cool,
okay.
Coon, Mullen, you know, all of them. And then you go California and hang out with Ted and Kelly and Kelly Gibson and, you know, guys like that.
Okay.
And then you go South Africa and hang out with those guys. Yeah, it was just, you had your spots lined up on tour and you'd go there every year. Do the same thing.
Okay.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no regrets?
Nah, surfing's huge now. All the guys in the first or second generation of pro surfing did a wonderful job of promoting the sport. And, yeah, good luck to everyone that put in hard work over those years. It's doing good now. And, you know, you just got to remember getting wet's the best thing. Getting out of the water's great. You know, it's all awesome. Yes,
I would totally agree. Well, Mr. Glen Winton, thank you so much for coming on the QuiverCast. I'm like I said, I was excited to be able to talk to you, and I really appreciate you doing this.
It's good to do an interview. I haven't done one for a while, so this is different. Thanks for calling me, Mike. Awesome.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Glenn. And this is Mike and Glenn, and we're out of here. All right, everybody. Have a good one.
100 foot out, choke food. 100 racks on a surf, dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out, choke food. 100 racks on a surf, dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. Your boo on my didgeridoo. They calling me dude, I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop. She grabbing a hold of my leggy. They jelly, they get you my weddy. The friends of Giuseppe, the chain is so heavy, she think that I'm charging the Eddie. 100 foot out, choke poo. 100 racks on a surf, dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out, choke poo. 100 racks on a surf, dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. Surf trap, I'm stacking that money. Cash. Your shorts a red Ferrari. They start to calling me Dundee. Diamonds are surfing McFlurry. Drip. She want me to teach her to surf. Splash. I'm pulling up, ripping the verse. I'm leaving these kooks in the hearse. They get moved 100 foot on their head, they get work. 100 foot out, choke poo. 100 racks on a surf, dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out, choke poo. 100 racks on a surf, dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You calling me dude, I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. They calling me dude, I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop.
Hey, you guys, Endless Summer box set. This thing is legit. It's authentic, numbered certificate in it. It has a 5-frame film strip from the original print. You literally own a piece of history. It has a specially minted bronze medallion. Dude, that thing's sick. Okay, there's so much more here. Go to the show notes. There's a link on there. Go check this piece of history out. This thing's rad. Seriously. Smithsonian American History Museum has it. It took 4 years of research with 3.5 in production, all hand assembled. This thing's rad. So much to this awesome box set. Remastered DVD, sharper images than the original film, but dude, this thing's so sick. Link in the show notes.